Dadaocheng's historic Yongle Market is famous for its fabrics, although for years it's seen sales go down and customers fall away. The market is firmly on a downward trajectory amid the rise of new ways to shop and the strength of China's textiles.
But there is a group of merchants who think they can reverse the decline. From their little shop fronts inside the old market, they offer highly creative products and services with a focus on contemporary fashion. Here's our Sunday special report.
Here in Taipei's Dadaocheng shopping area, this building that integrates old bricks into a tall, modern structure is the famous Yongle Fabric Market. Prior to 2010, it was known simply as Yongle Market. Textiles fill the building's second and third floors. We follow the market's director up to the second floor. The colorful fabrics are a feast for the eyes. In the narrow corridors, few customers can be seen, but there was once a time when this market bustled with activity. From 1922 to 1931, during the Japanese colonial era, Yongle Market was Taiwan's primary market for floral pattern fabrics imported from Japan. After the war, Yongle became Taiwan's largest wholesale fabrics distribution center. In the 1980s, a period of breakneck economic growth, Yongle was able to export much of its goods. At its peak, it was a place that never slept.
In
2006, even a small business like this was able to post revenue of 140 million NT. Factories in China had not yet taken off, and the US was placing orders. As China had no factories, the goods had to come from Taiwan. We sent out 170 shipping containers.
At the time, Yongle was home to about 100 shops, each with a workshop only 2 pings large. In 1 year, each shop could generate over 100 million NT in revenue.
After that, things took a dive. In 2006, it was 140 million NT. After that, it was 60 million NT. Then, the following year, 20 million NT. Then it dropped to under 10 million NT. It kept dropping until it reached the current level of roughly 5 million to 6 million NT.
The glory days of Yongle Market seem long past. From start to finish, it was an era lasting no more than a few decades. Xie Jiayan is a 65-year-old puppeteer who has hand-sewn puppets for some 40 years now.
In the beginning, of course, I didn't only make puppets. Anything associated with fabrics I could do. For example, cloth bags. In those years, I made a lot of cloth bags. Later on, I drifted back to my roots. Making puppets is still more my thing.
如果说我这是一只猫的耳朵是三角形，但是我今天把它画成一个半圆形的，它就是一只熊。然后这是它的头，头部我还没有弄，我这是先做身体的部分。
看不出来。
等一下我就变魔术给你看好了。
20-odd years ago, there was no such thing as 3D animation. Marionettes controlled by rods and a puppeteer's fingers provided the popular entertainment of the times.
这张是历史。
Order after order rolled in. But as factories moved out and labor costs rose, the entertainment industry's demand for puppets slowly waned.
现在很多都移到大陆，因为价钱便宜。
Much of the industry has moved to China now, since costs there are lower. So we have felt the pinch as we've received fewer and fewer orders. One unit costs only a few thousand new Taiwan dollars, but China can still undercut you. Of course, their quality is not as good.
Refusing to compete on price, Xie is deeply aware that the quality of her products is good. Exquisite craftsmanship and creativity are her secret weapons. To stand out in the market, Xie focuses on supplying custom orders.
他是一个幼稚园的小朋友。
He's a kindergartner, and his mom bought me a picture he drew. He said he wants a dinosaur that looks like this. He's only in kindergarten, but I felt, wow, that is remarkable. I must help him make this.
Whether it's a life-size mascot, a plush toy, or a dinosaur envisioned by a kindergartner, they all come to life through her skillful craftsmanship. Business is not as booming as in days past. But through her artistry, Xie helps countless children bring their dreams to life and deliver smiles to their faces. To her, textiles are a culture that inspires deep feeling. This is the 4th floor of Yongle Market. Most of those who work here are up-and-coming designers in their 20s. This second-generation tailor is turning his family's established brand into something new. His consultancy company, Lalaya, is where talented people can meet and share ideas about design.
快时尚的崛起，然后再加上其实蛮多的外来品牌。
The rise of fast fashion, along with the influx of numerous foreign brands, has changed the way Taiwanese understand fashion. What about Taiwanese brands? What about micro-scale designers? These designers have limited room for development. They can only get their materials from Yongle Market or Dihua Street. These fabrics are out of season stock, the majority being surplus products. That is very limiting to their creations. Why not bring them some top-of-the-line materials to help them realize their dreams?
Here at Lalaya, the racks and the wall showcase the latest fashion. It's all here for visitors to explore.
对，这个颜色会比较像一点。对啊，那如果你要这个的手感，这个的颜色，我再另外再帮你处理。
Up-and-coming designer Nikki Ye recalls how, more than a year ago, she had gotten a job in a workshop at the 4th floor of Yongle Market. It had been a completely different work experience for her.
大家不会像以前一样，就是说我有这些布商，然后我不会告诉你。
People today are not like they were before. Back then, if I had a fabric supplier, I wouldn't tell you about it because it was my trade secret. But now, because we work shoulder to shoulder, we exchange ideas and help each other out. I feel that this new approach can deliver inspiration to us all and stimulate the whole of Taiwan's fashion industry.
Some say Yongle Market is like an old locomotive that chugs on in defiance of time. Its seasoned vendors refuse to abandon their posts out of loyalty and a love for their work. They say their jobs are filled with passion and creativity.
就像孕育一个小朋友、一个小孩一样。
It's like having a child. It's fun. When the baby is born, you feel a sense of accomplishment.
All the vendors that have successfully transformed themselves have one thing in common: custom orders.
我们有跟一间科技公司那他们也是无心插柳。
We worked with a technology company. They hit upon success with this gold cloth. The gold cloth contains nanometer technology. It has real gold plating in it.
我们看到契机啊，譬如说定做口巾包、定做包包的。
We're seeing new opportunities for growth, for instance by producing made-to-order coin purses and handbags. New people have moved in. There is a need in the market. Everyone wants a bag that is different from those of others. They get it custom made.
Producing high-quality custom goods is something these vendors have in common. Harnessing creativity and the power of an integrated supply chain, vendors spanning generations have kept the market alive.
当然是希望聚集更多的专业人士，可以把这个地方一起活络起来。
Of course, I hope that even more professionals can move in and breathe life into this place. We want the market to leave an impression on people. If I need a designer or other related clothing professionals, I can find one on the 4th floor, the 3rd floor, the 2nd floor, or on any of those floors. Everyone you need can be found right here in the Yongle Market building.
这个地方它是有一个丰富的底蕴在，但是因为可能随着时代的变迁。
There's a rich culture here, but as times have changed, some things have become obsolete and shops have closed down one after the other. Should we young people let this culture die with the times, or do we try to find new ways for it to thrive?
Yongle Market is like an old steam locomotive that chugs slowly ahead. But on the inside, a quiet revolution is taking place, giving birth to a diversity of new services. With time, the market could emerge to become a model of innovation for the fashion industry.